we've had a wet day today, the rain's just paused and I've stepped outside. And that aspect of the environment impacting us is so important. You can have the best plan, the best teams, the best techniques and tools, everything can go to plan, and then nature has this ability to change everything. And it's very easy to sit there and go, just respond, be agile in the moment, don't let it impact you at all. But it does, because most of us have preferences, we have an ability for us to choose what we want to do. And often those things take not a few minutes to do, but days, weeks, months, even years to complete out on those projects. And not only just yourself, but with somebody else. It takes time to plan in the modern world. Most people have their diaries quite full. They have a day job, or they're booked up looking after family and friends. They're working on their project, whatever that may be. And so that ability just to go, let's do this, and quickly agree something, take action on it, isn't the case for many people. You may have heard a bit of a sound just coming just there. Another great example of what we're just talking about. There was a quiet space to talk, and then suddenly an outside noise happened. Now that's okay for what I'm doing here. Now in some environments, it really is quite serious. Life on the line, things you definitely can or can't do. And whether that's climbing a mountain, whether that's going on a journey and a walk, whether that's going to visit somebody or build something, sometimes you have to have the circumstances suitable for that activity. And sometimes you can transcend it. The genius of our humanity, I'm out here in this jumper, the jacket this afternoon, we've created things with our creativity, our imagination, and said, okay, how can we adapt? And sometimes we've adapted nature, we've blocked rivers, we've moved things around, we've cut holes through mountains that have tunnels, and sometimes we've adapted ourselves. But sometimes I think it forgets that aspect that, truthfully, the animals in the nature itself, doesn't seem to work that way. They're much more able to respond in the moment. Now, clearly there are seasons and cycles, but we're so far removed from those things. Now, we can think it's just about the weather and the rain. It's much more than that, because there are other environments going on in the business world, in political circumstances. There are all these different aspects of the environment we live and operate in. When we wake up in the morning, we may not be present to what's actually going on. And a bit how I right now, you might say, well, it's okay today. You might not see that storm that's coming in or the one that's just gone. You might not understand how the tides that came up every sort of day this much, well, at a moon, at a lunar cycle, they're going to change. I know for myself, often over the years, when there's a big storm coming, I'll feel the pressure. And it can feel strange saying that, because some people don't feel it. And on any population, some will be super sensitive to these small details and others won't. Now that's a good thing, because you get to look at that for yourself and go, well, how sensitive am I to those outside inputs? And if you're not sensitive, how can I partner with somebody that is? So that when they spot things early, I can take advantage of it, I can plan ahead. And that aspect of planning is so vital. It wasn't like I made this today, I had it in my wardrobe, I had it in my kit bag, ready to use. And I've been caught out over the years in both directions. We've been climbing mountains back when I was younger, doing like a 4 or 5 day walk, 80 kilometers. And you'd think you're prepared for the weather. And whether it was a sunny day and suddenly snow came, or you're prepared for winter weather and suddenly you had a baking hot day, having to adapt becomes really important. And generally we tend to find a medium line, so not too hot, not too cold, a space that works for us. And what works for you may not be the same as what's going to work for you in the future. So how do we plan for that? How do we adapt that? Well, firstly, we have to use the old head. We have to use that thought process and thought experiments to imagine what's going to happen in our business world, in our personal world, and think it through. And often you may need help to talk it through, because it can be quite challenging to put yourself into those positions. One thing I've loved about fiction and even documentaries, especially now we have this video content, it lets you put yourself into those scenarios and learn from other people's experiences. And then you get to sample it and test it. Maybe you discover that the thing you thought you're going to love, when you start to live there for a while, maybe a few days, a few weeks, a few months, isn't what you thought. And the joy of a human is we get to move, we get to be dynamic. So, with that said, I'm going to be dynamic and I head back inside and prepare for my next phone call. I wish you an amazing day, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.